Afternoon, everyone. This is Mr. Ramachandra from the NRL Sports Show. This is episode 912, joined by one special guest. His name is Chrishon Briggs. He's a professional basketball player, overseas player, and he played at NIT League in college. He had an interesting career, and obviously he's still playing. But I'm really looking forward to this interview. And Chrishon, thank you for joining the show. And how's your new family doing today?
First of all, I want to thank you for having me. It's a privilege. My family's doing good. Son's getting big. My nephews, nieces growing every day. So it's a blessing to see that. But I appreciate you for having me.
Yeah, no problem. So I want to start off with your childhood and growing up. And what was it like growing up as a young kid? And when did you get interested in the game of basketball? And who was your biggest role model in that growing up?
Okay, so yeah, growing up, it was just me, my mom, and my brother really growing up. We're in Brentwood. I have a lot of family in LA, so moved down from LA to Brentwood. I want to say about four or five. So always been going to school in Brentwood. That's where I'm known, where I played basketball, did sports. Moved all over within the area, Antioch, Knightson, Oakley, but Brentwood is home. So, but growing up, it was, like I said, me, my mom, my brother. My brother's 5 years older than me. So he was playing sports, basketball, football, and honestly, just watching him and hanging around older guys, that just got me, interested in sports. And then that just kept us busy. My mom putting us in sports kept us busy. And I excelled in I want to say football too, football and basketball early, but basketball was my love, and I just took off since 4 years old is when I started playing basketball, and I just took off from there.
Wow. Yeah, so speaking of playing multiple sports, what was it like for you playing multiple sports? And obviously in this generation, it's really important for kids to learn different aspects of sports and playing different sports before choosing on one. So for you, how big of an impact made you play multiple sports and becoming the great basketball player that you are right now?
Well, I think just starting off as a kid, just having fun. That's where it all starts off with, having fun, trying to figure out which sports you like most. Football, basketball was my two. When I was younger, I was always kind of bigger, so it was hard for me to play tackle at an early age. So I was always playing flag football. So just experiencing different positions. I used to play quarterback, running back, receiver, and then as I got older, started playing tackle. I want to say seventh grade was my first year playing tackle. There was a league that opened up. It was Delta Patriots. I forgot what the league was called, but that was a team I played for. And the weight requirement was all the way to like 260 pounds. So I was able to play with my age, and I met the weight requirement. So started playing contact football, seventh grade, eighth grade. And then those are the two sports I played. I always played basketball. But it was just the fact that you get to learn what you want to play, what you like most. You have fun with it. It starts off with just having fun. But once things started getting a little serious in high school, I definitely wanted to take off with one sport, stick with basketball, and that's where my heart was at.
Before we go any further, we're live on Speaker on all these podcast platforms, and I sent you the link if you want to send it to your friends. So
okay,
yeah. So now I want to ask you: Did you ever think maybe you can do both sports at multiple at the same time, basketball and football, or was basketball always on your mind after playing football?
I always thought I could. I know I could. My biggest thing was my academics. So that's another reason why I went junior college, and because my academics wasn't that I couldn't do the schoolwork. It was just applying myself. You know what I'm saying? So I was playing football freshman year. Was having a really good season. Our freshman year team was really good. I was getting letters for the most part from football and basketball, and football seasons before basketball. So I played, I want to say, half the season for football, and a big part of the reason why I had to stop was because of my grades. You know what I'm saying? So I just I just really wanted to lock in because I missed my freshman year. I missed half of the basketball season because of academics.
Oh, cool.
And so I want to actually thank my old high school coach, Coach Chrishon, because he made some things happen for me, and he just knew without basketball, he did basketball's all I knew. Sports is all I knew.
Right.
So he just knew basketball being taken away from me was discipline enough. So he just let me miss half the season until I got my grades right, and then I played the second half season of basketball. But I felt like I could have went far in football. My uncle Lance Briggs plays football, so it's play football, so it's in the bloodline. You know what I'm saying? But just my grades kind of had me just go with basketball. You know what I mean? And during that football period, take academics serious. You know what I mean? And make sure I was eligible for basketball.
Yeah, speaking of Briggs, I had your uncle on the show last year, so it was an honor.
Tonight?
Yeah, no, last year.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, so last year I was able to come on the show. It's truly an honor. Obviously, your uncle, one of the great Chicago Bears, played the game, and man, what a great defensive player he was. And it was an honor talking to him. So I'll send him this interview so you can see it. So yeah, so. Yeah, I want to speak on education a little bit real quick because some kids think that when you're an athlete, it's easy to get to where you want to be, but it's not because education is really important for athletes too and players. So speak on that and tell our fans and other young athletes that are trying to get to their goal that education is a big number one thing before going into professional sports.
Absolutely. If you want to play any sports collegiately, schools always come first. You know what I'm saying? So, what my problem was just bad habits. You know what I mean? I didn't have the structure. My mom was always there, but she was working, and she there's only so much she can do. So, but it was just the structure: going home, doing your work, asking questions when needed, things like that. And I started picking up a good like my structure of just how to go about stuff was I'm gonna say college. I started getting my best grades in college, you know what I'm saying? Because you're traveling, so you have to have a schedule when you're gonna do your work and things like that. So that was my issue. But I mean, if you want to play sports collegiately, school's number one. It's number one, and you can't go schools. Let's say you're an athlete and you're getting recruited in high school, and okay, you have game. Yeah, you have game, but colleges will lose interest in you if your academics aren't up to par. You know what I'm saying? So it's really more than just schoolwork, right? I think coaches kind of if you can get your work done and be a top athlete, that's special to that's something that's good for people, but college coaches love that, you know what I'm saying? So being a student athlete, that's why the student comes before athlete is key, you know what I'm saying? So that's another thing of me. That's why I want to teach kids nowadays that what I mean, academic comes first, and just the structure, and there's a lot that goes into it, you know what I'm saying? For a lot of kids, it's not that they can't apply this, or it's not that they can't do the schoolwork. It's just applying yourself and getting a schedule, things like that. So it was just small little things that I picked up later that taught me how to be a better student athlete. But school is number one. You need to do school if you want to go further in sports.
Yeah. So this is a two-part question. So for you, heading into senior year of high school, what were the main things that you learned as a basketball player, getting ready for college and waiting for the scholarships to come in? And the next part to this question, and being from California, there's so many stars out there. And did you get any advice from like former NBA players, former NFL players, heading into a senior of high school, getting ready for college?
So what I learned my senior in high school going into college was literally my academic part. Like that was the big thing, because a lot of schools were losing interest in me, and because of academics, and that was a lesson learned right there, because it was like it broke my heart. I didn't have to go JUCO if it wasn't for my grades. And nothing's wrong with junior college. You know, there's different situations. People go there because they want to get re-recruited, grades, or because they weren't recruited at all. So you have, you know, that's why you have a lot of people who come from junior college have that chip on their shoulder, you know. So my biggest lesson from high school going to college was just you have to get your work done. You know what I mean? I always personally felt like I was an elite player. I always played with a chip on my shoulder. I thought I should have been a 3, 4, 5-star recruit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That was just me. But I understood there's a lot that goes into that, and grades and academics was a big part. And then just, you know, I had a big wake up call going into college. Just you know, from just the practice standpoint, from the schedules. This is where I learned my you know, how important time management was, things like that, little things like that. But and then to answer your second question, um, as far as pros or just anybody who was in my ear, my high school coach, Coach Chrishon, he was there. I'm gonna say pros.
Uncle give you a lot of advice? Your uncle?
Yeah, no, he would go. He would give me some advice too. He's really good at leading by example. So if you just see how he goes about his work, goes about things, that's, you know what I mean. And he's gonna give you tips here and there. Absolutely. You know, so speaking to him, absolutely. But I would look at my uncle on the field and see how he goes about his work. You know, now, you know, I spent some time with him last week, seeing how he goes about business. It's like, okay, he's really good at leading by example. Um, and then yeah, I played with a lot of pros. So, you know, like at the time, Ivan Rabb played in the
Oh, yeah.
NBA.
Mhm.
He Ivan Rabb, Stanley Johnson. You know what I mean? You know, picking up from them. But at the time, it wasn't really pros I really talked to. Kind of, you know, gave me a blueprint of how I should go about things.
Hmm. So now I'm gonna get to your college recruitment process. What was that like for you? How many offers did you get? Obviously, in 2014 you started at Casper Community College first, but how many offers did you get from colleges?
So I had a couple offers. Had offers early in my career, so like Nevada, San Jose State, and I had a lot of schools recruiting me. But going back to the academic part, you know, that before they offer you, that's an investment. So if you're not getting your academics right, they're not going to offer you. So I had tons of school playing in front of college coaches because of the AAU teams I played for. So then once I figured out I had to go junior college route, it was Casper. They were there. Coach Dan Russell. That's my guy. He's at, I want to say, Northern Colorado right now. Dan Russell. He's at Northern Colorado. And he was at Casper. Who recruited me there was Dan Russell, but Coach Plank. He's actually at USF, University of San Francisco right now. And we still keep in contact. But they recruited me hard. They were with me. You know, they knew I can play at a pretty good level. And they just, you know, they think what got me was just being really close with my mom. So they knew that my mom was my biggest supporter. They got in her ear, and she loved them. She was comfortable for me going out there, going out of state. College of Southern Idaho is another really good junior college. It's yeah, they're big time. Salt Lake City College. There's a bunch of junior colleges that went after me. City College of San Francisco, which I ended up going to my sophomore year. They wanted me, and I was, you know, in between Casper, City College the whole time. But you know, spending that year at my first year at Casper, I learned a lot. It was fun, and you know, so and I chose them. You know, and I don't make any regrets for that either.
Hmm. So what was it like 2014 to like 17? What was the college experience like? Obviously, you played at NIT and for Bakersfield Roadrunners, and obviously City College in San Francisco. So what was it like overall, your college experience and competing in tournaments and the NIT tournaments for you?
My college experience, I loved every moment of it because I went from the junior college to Division One, which is a dream. You know, City College, we won state championship, so we kind of knew going into it. We knew who was going to come in. We had Jalen Canty, he's a pro. He went to University of UCSB. What is that? Big West school, UCSB. We had Zach Copeland went to Illinois State. He was playing overseas. We had Trevor Dunbar. So we knew our team. We knew that we could win state. So we ended up winning state, and that just set up everything for everybody to go to schools that they wanted to go to. So I ended up going to Bakersfield my junior year. It was tough. I was new on a good team. So, I'm thinking I should be playing a lot more early, just having that chip on my shoulder and just confidence in myself. But, I got humbled and learned quickly. You know what I'm saying? We had players who were there 2-3 years who put in the work, and it was their time now. So I was playing behind Matt Smith at the time. And then as the season went on, it's how you form your team. You get better at the end of the season. I started finding my role, and we were rolling. We were winning. We were one game from the NCAA tournament. So, that hurt. We lost to New Mexico State. The powerhouse in that league. So they always win. But we lost to them. And, it might have been, I don't know if it might have been better that we went to NIT because we got to play all the way to the Final Four. We were one of the last 8 teams playing in college basketball. So that was fun. And, that was a great run. So my senior year was even fun too. We didn't have a winning year, but we had a really good team. And, we had a young team. So I was a senior. I see a lot of the young guys who are playing at an elite level now. Some transferred to Ole Miss. Jarkel Joyner, Taze Moore was on my team. He's at University of Houston now. He's an NBA prospect. So just seeing the younger guys develop and you know what I mean, it's cool. It's cool seeing. So when I look back at my college career, I have no regrets. There's things you could have done differently, but I embrace everything. It was fun, being a part of, and that's the journey.
Well, this is another 2-part question, and obviously you mentioned you guys won a state championship, and what was that like winning that championship in your college career? And also the next part, you guys obviously people say defense wins championships, so you guys were ranked in the top 15 in the whole NCAA when you were Roadrunner. So what was that like winning that championship and being top 15 in defense?
Yeah, that was big time. That was that's when I learned. Well, when I went to City College, we were really, that's when I got good on defense. So that's sitting down in the stands consistently, learning little defensive principles. That's what Coach Barnes was all about at Bakersfield. So we had the team to do it. We had 2 point guards. We're picking up full court press. We had Dedrick Basil, who's overseas right now. He's in you 94 feet. He gets a sub out. We have another guard, Cootie, who comes in picking up 94 feet. We had Jalen Arrington, who's overseas playing, who had defense. So when you had your leaders playing defense, it made you be a part of it. It made you, you had to adapt to it. So it was fun. It was really fun playing defense and scoring from defensive end, getting stops and scoring, turning our defense to offense. And that's what won us the championship games. You know what I mean? My coach used to love the games when it's 60-58, low scoring games, but it's a defensive game because he knew at the end of the day, if our offense wasn't going, defense is, you know what I'm saying? So that's one thing he told us. He was like, you can't control the ball going in the hoop, but you can control your defense. You can control his effort, his heart. So that was fun being a part of. And teams were scared to play us. Teams did not like playing us. They knew what they're going to come into. Yeah. We're a mid-major school, but there was big-time schools who knew, like, okay, this team is going to come in and give us their all. So you can feel that energy. In warm-ups, we had a different type of swagger to us. And like I said, I'm coming to a team that just came off a tournament, entry. They the first time going to the tournament. So I just joined, I joined that team, and they brought me in, and it was just a whole different type of swagger we had on the court. So it was fun, man. It was fun playing, and I still watch old games, reminiscing and stuff. But you know what I mean? It was fun.
Yeah, so before we get to your overseas career, I want to ask you, did you go through the NBA Combine and all the NBA workouts, and did you have any interest from the NBA before going overseas?
Yeah, so I got injured my senior year. So it was kind of hard to just you know, get any NBA workouts and things like that. Um, so I really got 100% right when I went overseas.
Right.
So the league I was in Finland, um, my boy Diedrich, he told me, hey, they're looking for a guy in your position. He helped me get that deal right there. So that's, you know, we're friends to this day. So he helped me get that deal. So I got that deal, and I wanted to be in a situation where I didn't want to go overseas and maybe get fired right away because I wasn't 100%. So I knew that they really wanted me. They were watching film. I went over there, and it was a good league, but I personally felt like that league I was supposed to dominate.
Right.
That was a league I was supposed to dominate to help me get, you know what I'm saying? So it made me comfortable knowing that team really wanted me and needed me. So okay, I'm going over there. I'm probably 85% within the first month, you know, past. I'm 100% now. My foot is feeling good. So then, you know, I'm thinking about NBA stuff after, you know, after that and things like that. And even now, you know what I'm saying? But you know, I love overseas, man. And but to answer your question, I entered my name in the draft. I didn't hear really too much. And I think people need to understand that you know, your game does a lot of talking, but now it's networking. It's knowing who to talk to. It's, you know, you gotta it's networking. You know what I'm saying? That's a big part of business. So knowing, you know, getting in the right workouts, getting you know, in a group of people who can help you get to here and there. That's the biggest thing. If you want to go to that level. But your game can speak for itself, but it's just networking and knowing who to talk to, what, you know, who to be around and things like that.
So tell our fans, obviously now in this in the NBA, you see NBA college and even overseas, it's a positionless game now. So for you, what's it like to play guard and forward and be versatile? You know, basketball is about being versatile in the game. So for you, what have you learned so far? Obviously different style than the NBA or college, but what kind of do you think it's fast paced and do also play positionless, right? Also like the NBA.
Right now, NBA now is positionless. You know, I like to tease people and tell them I was Draymond Green before Draymond Green. You know what I'm saying? Because I was always growing up. I was always bigger than a lot of people, so I'm always in the post. I was playing center majority of my life,
Yeah.
and then, you know, I always was blessed to have a little handle to me. So, you know, that was the versatility. So I had a coach. He played me at point guard when I was younger, named Jeff Kurtz. His son, I went to high school with his son. Son did track at Stanford, but he saw I was big, but I can have a handle. So he put me at point guard, and this is like CYO days, Catholic Church, you know, days when we're playing. So I'm fifth, sixth grade. I'm bigger than everybody. I'm a beast in the post. That's where I just grew up doing. But I'm able to you know, handle the ball and things like that. So you know, that's what got me able to just be versatile. And then I didn't play so many positions throughout my life, that is just like I've always been positionless. If you look at scouting services, they might mark me as a small forward. They might mark me as a power forward. A lot of them did me a power forward. I would like to say I was overweight in high school. You know what I'm saying? I was overweight in high school, so I was, you know, I could move around, but I was big. I was 245, so you know, I'm in the post a lot. So, you know, I've been marked as a point guard, as a shooting guard, small forward, center, way before I even played professional basketball. So now that the game is translated to a positionless game, I feel like, oh, that just, you know, fits me perfectly. You know what I'm saying? So I just think growing up, being able to move around, and then now I'm overseas, with positionless basketball being more common. They see that I can be a four man because I can guard a four man, but I can also bring the ball up the court. You know, because I can pass the ball, I can dribble the ball and set, you know, things up. Um, or I can play off the ball because, you know, there's a lot of teams that I wasn't point guard on, so I'm familiar with playing off the ball and making quick moves on the wing. You know what I mean? Shooting is, I watched the game elevate when the Splash Bros came in, and now shooting is like you need to shoot. You need to shoot. Spread the court. You need to shoot. So yeah, I just think with just me growing up playing a lot of different positions, it helped me today with the positionless basketball.
Yeah, obviously I've seen the highlights of you playing overseas. You're a great player there, and people need to pay more attention to Chrishon Briggs. And I'm hoping you get an NBA opportunity pretty soon because you deserve it. And but for you playing, so obviously it's funny you mentioned Draymond Green because he does basically does the same thing where other guards and forwards do. Passes the ball sometimes. He's a great passer, great shooter. Some also. So for you, obviously, do you who do you try and mold your game around towards? Obviously, some players don't like to compare each other, but for you, who do you try and mold your game towards?
I try to. There's a lot of players I try to mold my game. I just try to with my size and my movement. I try to make it. Who do I look like on the court? You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I like Paul Pierce.
Mm-hmm.
I like Draymond. Evan Turner.
Yeah.
People don't. When he was in Ohio State, he was a bigger guard. You know what I mean? James Harden is my favorite player. Kobe, RIP. There's so many players. Joe Johnson. You know what I mean? But PJ Tucker. Like, you know what I'm saying? Players who I can, I try to, fit my body type and then my type of play. You know what I mean? I love Russell Westbrook, but I'm never going to be as athletic as Russell Westbrook. You know what I'm saying? I can learn things from him, but I'm just not, that's just not my game. You know what I'm saying? So just players who I just, I feel like I fit their body type. And I love the game. I'm breaking down film all the time. So, I mean, I'm learning stuff from every single player, a new move, you know what I mean? So, but those guys are probably the main guys I try to mold myself and learn some stuff from them.
Yeah, speaking of ISO Joe, we had him on the show too.
Oh yeah,
he was awesome. Yeah. Yeah, so I want to ask you, what's it like playing in front of those fans, man? Overseas basketball, those fans get crazy. They're passionate and they're into it and they love their team. So what's it like just to be in front of that fan base who loves the team and who wants to be there for you guys?
It's a blessing playing in fans because fans make you go. You know what I mean? Without a fans, I don't know how a lot of these players play without fans this past year. You know what I'm saying? Just with COVID, but the fans make you go. So, in South America, they were die hard. They were diehard fans, and I mentioned in Blaine's podcast that I was in the capital of Uruguay, Montevideo.
Mm-hmm.
So it's the capital, but each part of the city has its own little section. So kind of like San Francisco is really big,
Right.
but they have their own zones. So 30, 25 minutes away, but I was in Santiago, and everybody's passionate in the area, but Santiago was die hard. They were really, you know what I'm saying? So if you weren't even producing, you're gonna have fans calling your name, and they're speaking Spanish, but they're rumbling at you. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you have to perform, but at the same time you see that this is where they're from, and this is what they know. So it makes you want to play for them, and it's a blessing. It's fun, and then it's that adrenaline you get. You know what I mean? You have to play every game. You can get fired. You can, it's that pressure that you get, and it gives you that kick in the butt. This is like, all right, this is what you have to do. You have to perform. You have to win. You have to. So it's fun. It's fun. Like I said, I don't know how college players play without fans this year. Probably seemed like a scrimmage every game, but they got through it. But fans keep you going. Fans keep you going. Basketball, sports in general, wouldn't be sports without fans. It's the entertainment.
Speaking of learning different culture as a player who came from the U.S. and trying to adjust overseas, and for you, the first time you got to overseas, what was it like for you? How long did it take you to adjust? And speaking of language barriers, do you have like a translator with you every game, or how did it work for you?
So in Finland, my first year, they speak English pretty well there. You know what I mean? So it wasn't too hard. I didn't have a translator. My coach spoke English well, and so getting accustomed to their style of their culture and all that, it was adjustment, but it wasn't too bad. Finland it reminds me of the States a lot. You know what I'm saying? And I was in the area where I was fifth largest city. It was big. It wasn't like small, and I had it was big. It had a pretty good nightlife. It reminded me of the States a lot. But I think with South America, um, in Uruguay, I think that was probably the biggest adjustment. Um, just with it being considered third world, you know what I'm saying? But it was beautiful. It was beautiful, and you know what I mean? The food. I had to learn Spanish. I had to learn Spanish to just communicate little things that'll get me by. I know all my food in Spanish because I had to order in Spanish.
Right.
You know, so I had a translator. My point guard, Bola at the time. My point guard was my translator. He was our translator. My coach could speak a little English, but it was kind of broken. But with just hand gestures, and then you hearing a lot of things saying again and again, you catch on to it. You know what I mean? And I was eager to learn Spanish. You know what I'm saying? Because back home, I have a Mexican family. I call them my Mexican family. You know what I'm saying? So, I just wanted to come back home and show off a little bit too. You know what I mean? But I was eager to learn, and you just have to learn on the fly, especially in Uruguay, because they don't speak too much English there.
So for you, what did you guys learn as a team? Obviously, COVID and last week when COVID started and when everything got shut down, the sports shut down. And what did you guys learn from overseas and not knowing where you guys been, not playing the season? And what have you learned as a player and the team and changing your training routines when the COVID happened?
Oh, that taught me a lot. That taught me to appreciate the game a lot more. That taught me, um, growing up, I excelled in basketball because I had fun and I always played. If it was like 5-on-5, you know what I'm saying? So as I got older, working out, just having to work out, that was new to me. So this year, not playing because of the COVID, I'm working out. I'm working out consistently. I have a schedule, I have a routine. You know what I'm saying? And so that taught me a lot. It just taught me how to you know what I mean? Just stick with your routine. My workout, I figured out what worked for me. You know what I'm saying? I really figured out what worked for me. And then just watching the game more. I'm watching the game more because I'm not playing. So I'm trying to just study the game more. I feel like, and it's easier said, but I feel like I'm at my best right now because I'm watching the game, I'm studying the game, I'm appreciating the game more. You know what I mean? And then with my son being here, I have something more to play for. So all that is just making me eager to get back on the court. But the COVID year was it. You could take some negative, you could take positive out of it. But I look at the cup halfway full because I learned so much just sitting out, and you know what I mean. So my next situation is going to be hell for whoever I play against. You know what I'm saying? So, but just the COVID year, just learning more about yourself. It's my first year not playing basketball, so it was tough. It was new. It was really new. You know what I mean? It also allowed me to get into other avenues business wise. With my friend Diedrich, he has his little cable series going out, and I'm helping him with that. So if you have Fire Stick, you can download his app and get in tune with that. And then my other brother, Kyle, he has a trucking company. So helping him with this trucking company, if I were to play overseas, I don't know if I would have that much time to be invested in that as well. So there's a lot of things that I got introduced to sitting out, and then just understanding the game more and learning the game more. That's definitely why I look over here.
Well, yeah. So, what do you guys? Speaking of this, what are you guys most looking forward to for this upcoming year when you get to play in front of fans again? And what are the protocols right now at overseas or whatever team you choose? And did they tell you when you guys are going to start?
Yeah. So now, people are leaving now. As far as overseas, I know G League workouts are coming in. So I'm still ready to go overseas. It just, the situation is all depends on situation. You want to be in a good situation financially, team wise and things like that. So this is around that time people are leaving. So I'm just I'm ready to go. I'm ready to get back on the court, playing in front of fans. And then I also want to challenge myself this year too. You know what I mean? I know I can score the ball. I know I can hoop, but I wanna be a winner. So I want to help my teammates get better. I want to come in more as a veteran, and lead the team in other ways of scoring and things like that. I want to get players better. So this is around that time people are leaving. I'm just waiting on the call, waiting on the right call, staying in shape, staying ready, and that's where I'm at right now with it.
So when you had time off, did any NBA teams reach out to your agent about potential contracts for you, or was it only mainly overseas team when you guys had time off?
It was mainly overseas. I had I took a year off because I really wanted to be with my son, and the COVID hit.
Right.
So, I was really focused on my kid, getting things situated out here with business wise, and I would hear deals from here to there, but that really wasn't main focus at the time. But as later on during the year, I started picking up more on just my basketball and just trying to get back overseas. And so there's been a couple of tryouts, G League tryouts that are still on the way. You have open tryouts with the Clippers this week. Kings just had their tryouts, so there's open tryouts available, and that I'm looking to get to also. But I think right now I'm really trying to get back overseas to just have my own identity. I want to have my own identity as far as overseas, playing my own game. So then next season, when I want to get into the NBA or G League, you know what I'm saying? I'm here, I'm there. You know what I'm saying? They know who I am. They know what to expect out of me. You know what I mean? So, I'm just staying available. I'm not blocking any blessings. I'm staying available. But I've been hearing a lot more overseas than G League and NBA for sure.
Yeah. So speaking of training, what have you been working on mainly to improve your game and to get ready for the season overseas? And what have you been most focusing on for this year?
I've been trying to get bigger. I lose weight, gain weight fast, but I've been at my smallest probably this year. So I've been gaining weight, trying to get bigger, and then shooting, just playing off the ball, catching and shooting more, and then want to be a coach more on the floor. Honestly, I really want to be a coach more on the floor. So just when I'm working out with guys who I play with, trying to just push them, you know what I mean? And I want to bring another aspect to the game. I want to push others to push me and get the most out of each other. You know what I'm saying? And that'll lead me to wherever I play next year. You know what I mean? I talk to myself a lot in the game. Some people might think it's trash talking, but I talk to myself to give me so little things like that is what I've been working on, honestly, and just picking up on just picking up on a lot of stuff that I didn't do the last years and stuff like that. So like I said, that's what the COVID year helped me with, it, just studying the game more, understanding the game more, kind of manipulating the game. I don't want to say manipulating the game, but just using the game to its fullest, potential, to its maximum. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I've been working on this year.
Yeah, so speaking of overseas, what do you like about the overseas game and a lot of international players now in the NBA? Like you got Luka Doncic, you got Giannis, you got Patty Mills from Australia. So what do you like about the overseas game and the NBA growing into international?
Oh my goodness, I can see why Luka comes in and he's as dominant as he is when he first comes in, because those kids out overseas, they play with grown men. When they're elite, they're playing with grown men. So they're not, college. College, you're playing with a lot of. My coach used to say you're playing with a lot of pros, because college, a lot of people are pros, okay, but when you're overseas and you're elite like Luka, you're 14, 15, playing with veteran 30-year-olds, 20-year-olds. You're playing in leagues like that. So it doesn't surprise me with the Giannis's, the Lukas, Jokic. It doesn't surprise me at all. Even Campazzo. I love Campazzo's game. You know what I mean? Probably doesn't get talked about enough, but I love his game. But I think I'm not surprised with their success in the NBA, and I think it just shows you how international the game is, how diverse it is. and I think it does wonders for the NBA.
So, a couple more things before we go. And speaking of the NBA, man, time flies because it seems like the Bucks championship was forever, but now the season coming back already, and media day already started for NBA. And what are you most looking forward to as obviously waiting for the opportunity to go back overseas? But what are you most looking forward to seeing when NBA comes back? Because a lot of teams change their rosters, and for example, the Nets and the Lakers are top of the talk of the topic right now. Two teams made a lot of moves, and what are your overall thoughts when seeing the NBA season come back?
It's gonna be a crazy NBA season. I think this is the most balanced it's been in a while. So seeing the different rosters, a lot of players I play with and against. This is why I love NBA because I'm at that age where their players are at their prime. You got D Books, who was my same class, D Book, Donovan Mitchell, my same class, at the top of their game right now. So it's fun seeing, you know what I'm saying? It's fun seeing, and it's so even right now. I got the Lakers. That's my team. I think they're just their depth chart is just they have a bunch of veterans. You know, LeBron loves his veterans.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you have some key young guys like Kendrick Nunn. What's the big guard? What's his name? Thornton.
Yeah.
Thornton.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love his game too. You have and then Malik Monk.
No,
I don't
yeah.
think he really got to show too much of his game at Charlotte, but I feel like with veteran guys, he's gonna have to play up to par. So that's my team right there. But the season's gonna be fun. This is gonna be a fun season to watch. I'm going to lock into every game possible. And like I said, just watching that stuff is just getting me excited to get back on the court again. You know what I'm saying? It's getting me excited. And then I'm just excited to see these teams go. Excited to see these teams play, but it's the most even season I've seen in a while.
Yeah, so speaking of, do you like the teams forming big threes again? Obviously, the last one was the Miami Heat big three, but now you see the Lakers have one. The Nets obviously have one with Kyrie and KD and James Harden. And do you like the NBA going back to into that direction where players are forming big threes again?
I never really had a problem with the big three. You know what I'm saying? I think the only problem I had was when Kevin Durant went to Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
But when you hear Kevin Durant and why he did it, you can't get mad. You know what I'm saying? You can't get mad. He has nothing to prove. He's the top dog in the NBA. But just because I seen how close he was at OKC, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, if he would have stayed. But hey, him and Westbrook maybe didn't mesh. You know what I mean? So it's very situational. It's very situational. So I don't have any problem with the big three. I love the game. I really love the game. But there was a stretch where it was 3 years in a row that you knew who was going to be the two teams. You knew the Warriors and the Cavs were going to be the top teams. You just knew it. And I think it's just these last 2 years it's been different. Suns surprised me last year. You know what I mean? I do think if the Lakers was healthy, I don't think they would have gotten as far. But that's what plays into the 82 game season as well. So. But I love the direction it's going in now. As far as every team is possible, any team. It just makes it more fun. Every game you're gonna be locked in. I think a team that people need to watch out for is the Knicks. Knicks are gonna be a good team on the East. Oh yeah, there we go. Right, Knicks. Yep. I like their team. There's gonna be a lot of sleeper teams, like how Atlanta was a sleeper this year. As far as they were good, people knew they were going to, be pretty talented, but just being in the conference finals.
Yeah, another team is Chicago Bulls.
Chicago Bulls. I like Chicago, but they added my man Stanley Johnson on that team. I mean, so I like, people, even with Stanley, I think with him, he's been so growing up, he had the ball in his hands, things like that. And, him setting screens and just finding roles a little different for him, but he's finding his niche. I was watching his highlights the other day. He has a lot of basketball. He has a lot to prove. He has a chip on his shoulder. So Chicago Bulls is going to be another team with Zach, DeMar, and oh man, it's going to be a crazy season. Chicago's back in business too.
Yeah. So I want to ask you, where would you see your best moment so far as a player, as an athlete playing overseas, and obviously college, you won a championship. But what would you say your best moment so far as an overseas player would be?
Best moments
Mhm.
or best time? Just
Um,
okay. Best moments.
yeah.
I would say, I would honestly say my last year in Uruguay because I was just feeling myself getting better. I was getting better. I played a position consistently that I haven't really played. I played the shooting guard a lot. So we had a big team. So just seeing myself get better at that position gave myself confidence. My 3-point shooting was better. Um, you know what I mean? So that year we lost, but I was in a good league, so I got to play against really good players and got to just measure myself. You know what I mean? So it was a big confidence booster for me. Just that past year. Um, Moments. I had so many great moments with Bakersfield, the NIT Final Four. That was a great moment. Um, um, the state championship at City College, that was amazing because that that whole winning culture and winning that state championship, we still talk about that till this day. So you know what I mean, that's something that you take with you forever. So a lot of great moments in my basketball career.
Yeah, so two more things here before we get to the last two things. But I want to ask you real quick about the Brooklyn Nets roster. Obviously, we have a deep roster behind those five monsters, and the bench could be easily a starting five. But I want to get to one young player they added from the draft because a lot of great young players in this draft. But I want to get to one that's no one's talking about right now. Obviously, he had a great summer league, Cam Thomas from LSU. Obviously, for you being a guard, what do you like about this player? What do you think he can bring to Brooklyn? Cam Thomas.
I love that pickup. Just seeing how easy it was for him to score at LSU. I just knew NBA was going to translate. He shoots the ball. He shoots the ball. Some people have problems with shooting the ball. He doesn't. So with his size, with his ability to shoot the ball, and it's hard to block his shot. You know what I mean? A lot of his shots he gets fouled on because he
Yeah.
has. You know what I'm saying? So I like it. I love his game. I feel like you could fit him in anywhere because he's going to score. You know what I'm saying? So him playing around veteran guys and great all stars like Kyrie, James, and you know just their whole roster only gonna set them up for a great career. You know what I'm saying? So I love that pickup for them. I think that's a steal. That's a steal right there. I tweeted it. I tweeted it before the draft too. I said Cam Thomas was some guy that I'm like, if you get him, that's a steal right there. So I think that's a great pickup.
Especially for a championship team to get that player, it's crazy.
Crazy. Yes indeed. Yes indeed. What pick was he? If
Uh,
you don't
I think, I think in the 20s. I think the Nets had the late.
20s.
Yeah, so I think in the 20s. Yeah, I'm not sure.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good steal right there.
Yeah, so I'm going to put you on the spot right now because we made a post earlier on Twitter and Instagram about we had an NBA point guard discussion with the season coming up. It's always have to have fun with these discussions. So we were focused on point guards. So I'm going to put you on the spot. Who would you say? Who would you start your team around? We put Chris Paul, we put Stephen Curry, Damian Lillard, Kyrie Irving, and Westbrook. So if you were a GM, which point guard would you start your team around with?
Oh man, see, I would. You can't go wrong with Curry.
Yeah.
You can't go wrong with Curry. I love Kyrie. I love Dame. I love all the point guards you said. CP3, but Curry, he changed the game. He changed the game. I feel like Curry challenged Dame as far as range. Like, you know what I mean? It wasn't. You didn't see people shoot hit with his range until Stephen, right? So Stephen, you just can't go wrong with Steph.
Hmm.
Going with Steph.
Yeah, majority of the answers were Dame and Curry.
Yeah, yeah, no surprise.
Yeah, so the last two things here, our team is part of this foundation. It's called the Hugh Jackson Foundation, and we're trying to help them prevent human trafficking, making sure the community stays safe and the kids stay safe. So we'll send you the foundation so you can go check it out.
Cool, thank you.
The last thing here, would you like to say anything to all the nurses, doctors, and all the essential workers right now?
Just keep helping us out. You know what I mean? You guys are the true winners right now. So stay safe always. But just thank you. We appreciate your service and keep being you guys. Thank you.
Yeah, well said. And there it is. That wraps up episode 912 with professional basketball player Chrishon Briggs. He's currently playing overseas, waiting for another opportunity. And I'm telling you, man, this guy is a great player. You should check him out. Go watch some YouTube highlights of him. And he deserves an NBA opportunity hopefully soon. But thank you again for coming on the show. It's truly an honor. Good luck this season wherever you choose to play. And we'll be watching. And we'd like to have you back on the show at some point down the line so you can meet the full team. But keep up the great work, and thank you again.
Absolutely, Nathan. Appreciate you for having me, man. Appreciate you.
No problem.
Thank you.
Yep.